All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go through the week 19 test. So let's get started. And doing something a little bit different this time. I'm showing you the answers. Looks a little bit different. You don't have the answer boxes the way you did, but I figured this way we can concentrate on the explanation. So let's just work our way counterclockwise, finding these angles. So we're going to start here. This is a 90-degree angle. When you see this, on the opposite side, you got a straight line going here, and this side says 90. That way we know that side is 90. Next, going around, this 42. 42 is an example of a vertical angle. That's a really big fat pen I got going there. Let me fix that. Let me sharpen that just a little bit. See if I can get a sharper point on my pen here. All right, that's better. So this is a vertical angle. That's how we know that 42. When we get to this 138, we know that 138 because we have the 42. This whole line right here, if I go through and I look at this whole line, is 180 degrees. The underside of this line is 180. So I get this 138 by doing 180, take away the 42. That gives me the 138. To get to y then, y over here was the 138 divided by 3. That's the 46. That's the value of y. And finally, the x. To get the value of x, we have the 90 take away the 42. That gives us x, which is 48. All right, on to our inequality. So we're going to set this up just like we've been doing with our problems. Since this is a positive 3, we know that it is not going to end up changing the direction of the sign. So we know when we get to our final answer, x will be less than or equal to something. So step 1, take away the 15. Do that on both sides. 15 zero pairs right there. That leaves us with 3x less than or equal to 21. Take away 15 is 6. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. And we get x less than or equal to 2. So less than or equal to 2. You had an answer box right about here. As far as graphing this, less than or equal to means we circle and fill it in, because 2 could be the answer. And then they're all the numbers that run that way. I could do a better job than that of my arrow. There we go. They're all the things that are less than or equal to 2. So you could test 1 less than or equal to 2, 0 less than or equal. We can even check with the 1. Let's go ahead and do a check. We're going to take 3 times the 1. That's the first number under the arrow. Plus the 15 less than or equal to 21. 3 plus 15 less than or equal to 21. Yes, 18 is less than or equal to 21. All right, over to number 5. So they give us some information about Keith selling furniture. So he's paid $50 a day. There's the 50. Plus he gets $8 for every piece of furniture he sells. His goal is to earn more than $150. He sold 12 pieces. Did he meet his goal? So to solve that, we would say, if we take the 8 and multiply it by the 12 and add the 50, will we have more than 150? And we will not, because this is 96, and we end up with 146, and 146 is not equal. That does not work. Not greater than 150. So no, Keith he'd have to sell 12 and a half, and you can't sell half a piece of furniture. So really, he would need to sell at least 13 to meet his goal. Two-step equation. Here we go. Dash line through. Step 1. Take away 25. Over here, I'm going to show it as plus negative. Remember, those mean the same thing. Let me just write that here, just to remind you. Taking away 25 is the same as adding negative 25. So I can think about taking away here, because I know those cancel out. I want to think about adding a negative here because I'm adding negatives to more negatives. Subtracting, more confusing. So I have negative 6x equal to 23 negatives plus 25 negatives, 48 negatives. Some of you lost track of the negative on that. This is not multiplication where a negative times a negative makes a positive. In addition, a negative plus a negative combines. It doesn't cancel, it combines, and you get a whole bunch of negatives. Divide by negative 6. Be sure when you're dividing, you're picking the coefficient. These have to be identical for that to be a big 1. X is equal to negative 48 divided by negative 6, positive 8. We can check that by taking negative 6 times positive 8, adding 25, and seeing if we get negative 23. Well, negative 6 times positive 8 is negative 48. And yes, when you add 48 negatives to 25 positives, these cancel. 25 of these cancel 25 of those, and they leave 23 of those. And it's all good. All right, over to the word problem. Mattias bought 3 video games that all cost the same amount. So since we know they all cost the same amount, we can represent them like so. So in this case, X is the cost per game. He spent $57 altogether after using a coupon that gave him $15 off his purchase. So that's the minus 15. So his total cost was $57. That's the 3 games. Take away the $15 coupon. To solve it, once we have that all set up, to solve it, we add the coupon back on both sides. 0 pairs, those cancel out. We have 3 games equals 57 plus 15, that's $72. Divide by 3 to see what each game costs. Again, make sure you get the right coefficient. That's the only way that can be a 1. Divide by 3, and we get X is equal to $24 per game. All right, distributive property. So remember, distributive property means you're doing rainbows. So we end up with 4x plus 24 equals 56. Take away the 24. Take away the 24. We end up with 4x. 56 take away 24 is 32. These were my 0 pairs right there. Divide by the coefficient. Divide by the 4. There's my big 1 right there. And I end up with x is equal to 8. I can check that to see if it's true. Does 4 times 8 plus 6 equal 56? Yes, 4 times 14 is equal to 56. Happy days. All right, Mike and the Blow Pops. Sounds like the name of a band. Mike and the Blow Pops. So Mike and the Blow Pops. I have 3 bags of Blow Pops. There's the 3. Each bag has some number of Blow Pops. So some Blow Pops. So I just decided that x is going to equal the Blow Pops. And each bag also has 6 Tootsie Pops. Altogether, in all the bags put together, there are 39 lollipops. So to solve this, I would go ahead and I would do 3 times x plus 3 times 6. 3 times 6, 18. Boy, that is one of the worst 8s I've ever done. I've got to be able to improve on that. Equals 39. Now it's the 3 that doesn't look very good. Take away the 18. Take away the 18. End up with 3x equals 21. Divide by the 3 on each side, and you get x equals 7. And if you wish to check that, just to make sure, you'd ask yourself, does 3 times 7 plus 6, 7 Blow Pops, 6 Tootsie Pops in each bag, what does that equal? That's 3 times 13, that's 30, 39. Why I wrote a 3 there, I don't know. That's 39. That's what we were supposed to have. We've got the right amount of lollipops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. If you wanted to see the answer to the triangle question, the answer was C. And the reason it's C is that anytime you're trying to form a triangle, the first 2 sides, the smaller sides, have to equal more than the biggest side. So 4 plus 5 is greater than 6. Same thing here. The 2 smaller sides, 4 plus 4, greater than 7. Same thing down here. 12 plus 15 greater than 20. That fails right here. 7 plus 8 equal to 15. Has to be greater than. The 2 smaller sides added together have to be greater than the remaining side. All right, there you go. If you have questions, be sure you ask in class, and I look forward to seeing your smiling faces.